You spend 40 hours a week at work. You spend, well, depending on who you are, 56 hours a week asleep. Maybe 75 hours a week asleep. I don't know. How much time do your family see you? Not that much. The people that see you the most are the people you work with, the people you study with. And they get a picture of your faithfulness day after day after day after day after day. Now, I worked that out way too late. And so I burned too many bridges because of my irresponsible behaviour when I was young. And I didn't get a chance to go back and mend them, and I'm really sorry about that. I would like you guys to not have to try to mend the bridges. Okay? I'm not saying don't have a life, don't enjoy yourself. Far from it. But when you're at work, when you're at school, when you're at uni, be there and do what you need to do. Because that's where the doors open for conversations. People who see you and go, you know what, everyone else is on Facebook at the moment, but you're actually listening to the lecture. What's going on? Oh, yeah, I think it's important to do this. Yeah. You're in on time every day, and you could be like 15 minutes late and no one will notice. Why are you on time? Because I think it matters. I think there's some things that are important. It gives you an opportunity to speak. I'm excited. I said this last week to Rob and to Sarah in a meeting. I feel like we're having a growth spurt at church. Oh, tonight's not. But I feel like that because there is a certain sense of people are excited, and I love that. I think 2 Thessalonians 3 is not so much about work, but about relationships with people that you can then leverage for evangelism. This sounds horrific, and I can't believe I'm saying this at church. But when I was in sales working for a multinational company, we were selling drugs to doctors. So we'd ask doctors what they prescribed for various conditions. And they would tell us, oh, we really should use ours. The national sales manager said, it's great that you build relationships, but it's worth nothing if you don't leverage it for a sale. Okay? There's wisdom in that for Christians. Listen before you throw things at me.
On three.
Relationships in and of themselves are valuable and worthwhile, and I want you to have great relationships with the people that you work with, that you go to school with your family, everyone. But it's great when you can take that relationship and turn it into a gospel conversation with their permission. And then sometimes God does this amazing work with His Spirit, and you've got a new brother or sister. So that'd be awesome. But we're okay. Any questions?
Can I just paraphrase what you're saying?
Okay.
So you're saying that we should love people because God loved us first. And through loving people is sharing Jesus with them. That is true love. Because what more is there can you do for a person when you love? Sorry, what other way is it better to love a person? By showing them the Holy Grail in a sense.
Yeah, that's a much nicer way of saying it.
And you're 2 steps ahead in loving them if you're actually caring about them at work rather than...
Yeah, that's right.
You can do that.
Oh, most of the reasons why we don't work well at work is because we're lazy. That's the biggest reason why we don't work well at work. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Anyone want to paraphrase the rest of my talk?
I have a question. It tells us that Paul worked.
Yes.
Does that mean that people who are in ministry should be working alongside, not getting paid by the church?
No, because you'll know. I suppose my Bible is a bad thing to do. It's not what he's saying. It's saying he Let me tell you exactly. Sorry, good question. Okay, verse 9. So verses 8 and 9. We did not eat anyone's bread without paying for it, but with toil and labour we worked hard night and day, so that we might not burden any of you. This was not because we do not have that right, but in order to give you an example to imitate. So Paul was saying he had the right to demand that they feed him. But he didn't because he wanted to set an example. In actual fact, Paul's normal method would be he would go ahead with a couple of guys and start planning a church of some form. And he would work, hard manual labour to do that. And then the guys would catch up with him with money. And so that money would then support their time in ministry. And Paul would then stop working manually and spend all his time preaching.
He was a maker of nets, wasn't he?
Tents.
Tents, sorry.
That's the whole tent maker ministry. Now the reality is, though, in today's market, often people need to do that. Okay, so there's in TAFE ministries, there's a few guys who work part-time in trade and part-time with the ministry. Now that does two things. One, it makes it cheaper to pay them, and two, it gives them some kudos with the dudes they're talking to, because they go, well, actually, I am a plumber. I actually know how to do this job. I know what you're going to have to do in 2 years. So why don't you listen to me? I think when it comes to paid ministry, you need to work out what's the best fit. So you might have someone who's able to come to work with the church on a reduced rate because the government will feed their children. Now, you don't want to take advantage of that indefinitely, but that can be a good start. In Galatians it says, you need to share materially with the person who works for you. And in 1 Timothy he says, the elders who do their job well are worthy of double honour, which I think means pay. So I think context is really important in working out what that is. Because it would be ridiculous to say for me to walk into a church that says we really need a minister and say, okay, I want a house, a car, 50 grand, superannuation, etc., etc., when they can afford half that. That would just be stupid and unloving. Flip side of that is if you walk into a church and they've got plenty of money, but they say, no, you've got to be a tent maker. You've got to go and work in sales or whatever and build the church part-time. That's ridiculous. So, any other questions? Then let's pray. Our Lord God, thank you so much that you gave us your Apostle Paul and his example of hard work. And it's so tempting to slacken off in any job. Lord, we pray I pray, especially for the guys here tonight, that they would be where they're at, like if it's at work or at uni or at study, that they would do that and work hard at it. And Father, that would give them the right to have conversations with people about how wonderful you are. And Father, we do pray that we would all grow in our godliness in this area, because our generation is one that is great at slacking off. And we do pray, Father, that we wouldn't give in to that temptation, but that we would bring glory to you in the way that we live. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. Our next and last song, which is Consider Christ.